If you don't have a 100% closing ratio on all of your sales calls, you're about to discover why. I, after doing over 10,000 personal sales calls in the last decade, have put a precise process together that will allow any average salesperson to become an excellent closer in a short period of time, and I'm gonna give it to you for free. Check it out. I know, first of all, before we get into this, you're probably thinking, if you don't know me, you might be looking at me thinking, what the hell does this guy know about sales? He looks like a redneck that is a roughneck or something like that more than a professional salesperson. But because of sales, I've been able to create a wardrobe that's comfortable how the fuck I want to wear it. That's the beautiful thing about sales. You can make enough money. You can get that fuck you money. You can say fuck you to the traditional look to people. And I'm that mother. Let me tell you about this. So if you don't know me, in my career over the last 10 years alone, I have personally earned, this isn't company revenue. I think all that shit people say about company revenue with inflated numbers and all that shit is bullshit. This can be verified with the mother IRS. I have earned personally, not my companies, personally, over $50 million in the last decade, okay? All from sales, by the way, not from selling a company, not from the stock market, not from crypto, not from fucking sales, okay? When I say that I've personally earned $50 million just in the last decade, that's not counting, I'm 45 years old, that's not counting the 30 years that I've been in sales, okay? So just in the last decade. I say that so that when you're listening to what I'm about to tell you, you don't just think I'm one of these fucking fruitcakes on the internet that's teaching you about sales that couldn't sell a fucking crack rock to a crackhead at 2 a.m. on the first of the fucking month, right? Like, don't listen to those guys. You want to hear it from somebody with experience, okay? So I might be the CEO of a company now, but that's because I was forced into that fucking role. I'm truly a salesman at heart. And in my career, just in the last decade, I have conducted over 12,000 sales calls personally. These have been done on Zoom, on the phone, and via text message and DMs, okay? But these are sales calls, two-way conversations that I've been a part of. My team that works for me, I have hundreds of employees. My team that's worked for me over the last decade, which is, like I said, been hundreds of people, they have done over 100,000 sales calls. And as I've watched this and watched who gets results and who climbs to the top of the ladder and who becomes the top producer, I realize it's not about personality. It's not about communication. It's not about having the gift of gab. It's none of that bullshit. It's all about having a process and following the process, but you've got to have the right process to close sales. So if you're in a position where you're like, dude, I got a lot of leads, but my closing numbers are low, it's because you're not going through the progression of the phases that I'm going to outline for you here. So there are 4 phases that you have to go through. You have to complete one before you can jump onto the next one in a sales call. If you skip, if you shortcut, if you try to cheat your way through these 4 phases, you will fuck up a sales call 100% of the time. But if you will follow the process that I'm about to outline for you here over the next few minutes and over the next few slides, if you'll design what I'm about to give you a template, because that's what a good coach does, right? They give you a template and then you apply that template into your existing systems, okay? So I'm gonna give you a template that you can apply into your systems. But before we get into this, if you have a pen and paper, or if you've got some way to take notes, like pull me up on another screen or listen to me in the background, because you're gonna wanna write this shit down. You're going to want to write it down and you're going to use this template in your business. Okay, so 4 phases of sale. The first phase that you have to do is you have to build rapport with the prospect, okay? Second phase is discovery. What the fuck are they there for? What are they talking to you for? What do they need? What do they want? What's their problems? What's their struggles? What is the issue? Number 3 is the pitch, and number 4 is the close, okay? So let's break these down, not just as in 4 simple words and 4 simple phases, but let's get granular on this. Because again, I watch a lot of these guys on the internet, and they say a bunch of fucking fancy bro tap bullshit, and I wanna give you granular shit that you can insert into your business. So let's get started here. Phase 1, rapport. In most cases, people will only buy from people they know, like, and trust. And the only way to get a stranger to know and like you, we don't know if we can get them to trust us yet, but to get them to know and like us is to build rapport with them, to create commonalities. So what I like to do, and here we advertise so we get inbound leads. We don't do cold calls. We don't do blast, cold emails, any of that stuff, right? I'm not knocking it. It's just not how we operate here. But with me, when I get on a sales call with somebody, the first thing that I'm asking them, let's say I get on a call with John Doe. Hey, John, how's it going? Oh, man, I'm doing great, Stewman. Glad to be on the call with you. Awesome, blah, blah. John, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Minnesota. Oh, that's amazing. I got my Tony, great friend of mine, big roofer up in Minnesota. He's absolutely crushing it up there. Cool dude. He's part of Apex. What business are you in? Oh, man, I'm in roofing too. Oh, that's fucking amazing. You should meet Tony. Immediately, I'm showing them. Just in small talk conversation with intention, I'm showing them that I know somebody like them in their area that's getting the results that they want, that's a part of my program if I'm selling Apex, right? In this instance, I am. So when someone gets on a call with me, I build rapport through the KPI of introduction. Where are you from? What do you do for a living? What's your life like? That's what I want to know in the beginning. And the reason why I'm asking those things is because they may be a plumber and I may be a software company owner. They may not think we have a lot in common when it comes to business, even though business is business. Whether you fucking dig a holes for a living or you launch rockets to Mars for a living, business is business, right? But most people don't see it that way. Everybody thinks they're unique and different. And so what happens is when we're going through the introduction, asking them where they live, what they do for a living, and showing them examples of that rapport building is huge. For example, he said he lives in Minnesota. I said I have a client in Minnesota. He said he's a roofer. I said my client is a roofer. That shows them, first of all, someone like them in their area is getting results. So obviously whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that I'm doing works in that scenario. It also lets them know that like, hey, I'm familiar with your territory and industry and we can build rapport this way because of that, okay? Once I've got the introduction, then I'm moving on to similarity. Right? Where are you from? What do you do for a living? That's where I'm coming in and showing you the people that are similar, the things that I'm similar. If they say, now I might ask them, what do you do in your free time? And they may say, oh, I like to hunt. Fuck, I love to hunt. They may say, I like to fish. I love to fish. They may say they like to spend time in strip clubs. I love strip clubs, right? Like whatever it is, I'm going to get that similarity with them just kidding about strip clubs, right? We're creating this similarity. You've been in business 5 years. I've been in business 5 years. You did this. That's how the rapport is built. An introduction, get to know each other, create the similarities, and then I'm going to set an agenda. Once they know me, I've introduced myself to them. They've decided whether they like me. They know me. Now they decide whether they like me. We haven't got to the trust part. That's later in the call. When I set an agenda, what I'm doing is I'm trying to take the pressure of a sales call and remove it from the situation to where it doesn't feel like a sales call, but more like an interview or a casual conversation is even more powerful than an interview. In my process, we have to do an interview. And what that does is that's the onus on the prospect to sell me as opposed to me selling them. I have something they want. They've got to sell me on their ability to obtain that thing that they want, right? That's not how most companies work. If I set an agenda, the way that I set agendas is, okay, cool, here's how this call is going to go. We've introduced ourselves. We've created similarities. We have a bond, rapport. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions to see if I can help you or maybe if there's something I can do to improve your situations. All I ask is that you're honest with me. And if you have any questions for me during this, then you can ask me and I'll be honest with you too. Is that cool with you? They're going to say yes. Now all of a sudden it's not I'm going to sell you a bunch of bullshit. And I'm going to be high pressure and objection handling on you. Instead, I've said, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions. And one of the rules to sales is he who speaks the least earns the most on a sales call. So if I can ask questions, especially open-ended questions, a big problem a lot of salespeople do is they say, well, are you looking for green grass or yellow grass? Versus, hey, what kind of grass are you looking for? Right? They're going to, green or yellow, they're going to say one-word answers. If I say what kind of grass you're looking for, I'm getting them to talk. The more that they talk, the more information I'm gathering, and the more I'm building rapport with them, believe it or not, because most people don't fucking listen. And when you're a salesperson that doesn't talk over people, that listens to them, it's that empathy by understanding their situation that they've told you, dude, you're fucking in. You can move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is discovery. So if I set this agenda, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions. I got to be a man of my word. How else could I say that I have integrity, right? First thing I'm going to do in the discovery phase is I'm going to ask questions. You should have questions already written out that you ask every one of your prospects. 5 to 10 simple questions. For us, it's questions like, do you have a business plan? People say yes or no. Is it in your head or on paper? Well, it's in my head. Why haven't you put it on paper? We start asking them questions that show them their inadequacies and what they need when it comes to running a business. We show them that they don't have it figured out. No matter how much money they're making, there's always ways to improve and there's always ways to increase. But questioning in this period, the discovery isn't for the prospect, it's for me, right? When we go through discovery, if you've ever been in litigation and you go through discovery, those motherfuckers ask you a million questions. They want to know everything about you, every detail, every document, all that stuff. You don't have to be as deep in your questioning to a sales prospect, but you want to go below the surface, right? You want to ask the deeper questions. You want to ask why. It's such a powerful question. It's one word. People all the time, they come to me and say, man, I want to make $1 million a year. Why? It just sounds good, man. It's just a goal. You know why they want to make $1 million? They don't have a plan to $1 million. But asking those questions to build that rapport and discover what their true struggles are. If I'm asking you questions, you have a business plan, you say yes. I say, is it on paper? You say no. That's a fucking problem. You run a business and you want to make $1 million and you don't even have a fucking plan on paper at all? Do you realize how absurd that is? That's like getting in a car going to a place you've never been before and not using a map. Sure, you might get there eventually. The world's fucking round, but it's going to take you a long time when you could have just typed it in GPS. That's what we're doing here. So we're asking questions. The next thing is, once we've asked questions and gathered all the information that we need from them, we've discovered what their issue is, then we're going to give them feedback. I'm going to present it. I'm not selling them. I'm not pitching them. I'm not asking them for money. I'm giving them a solution. Let's say I'm on the phone or a Zoom call and we're going through discovery, and during the discovery process, I'm asking questions. And when I ask questions, I realize that the plumber that is coming to this sales call doesn't have a website or any social media presence. So the first thing I'm going to do is, when I've gone through the questioning and I got to hit the next KPI, I'm going to give them feedback. I'm going to say, well, here's the thing. First of all, you're doing really good where you're at and you really got a lot of great plans in your marketplace. But once you transfer those same skills offline to online and you start building your machine and marketing through social media and creating funnels and creating videos and things that attract clients to you without you having to pay per click on Google, because you become a household name because you're the only plumber in your marketplace that built a brand, that's going to be the difference. And that's going to be that $1 million that you want to earn. I'm going to give them the feedback. I'm going to give them the plan right then and there. Hey, start posting on social media, build you a funnel, create a video, make you an offer, get traffic coming to you, lower your advertising costs because you no longer need as much pay-per-click, increase your social media presence organically for free. Game over. I might tell them, hey, you're relying on SEO? Well, SEO used to be search engine optimization. Now it's search everywhere optimization. You have to be search optimized for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, fucking the internet, Google, ChatGPT, Bard, Grok. You have to be search engine optimized, search everywhere optimized these days. And I'm going to give this kind of feedback to them because I want to make a powerful impression on them, right? We've built rapport. I've gone through discovery and built empathy through the discovery. And now I'm going to give them something that says, hey, this is fucking valuable. This guy knows what he's talking about. Here's a solution to my problem. And once I've given them that, what I'm doing is I'm relying on the principle of influence called reciprocity. If I give you a solution to your problem, and then we go into phase 3, which is the pitch, then once I give you the solution to your problem and you agree that it's a great solution, now I've earned the right to pitch you. Because reciprocation, I give you something, now I have the right to ask for something. Okay, so we have reciprocation in sales, so the law of reciprocity. So that's when I'm going to make my offer. So if you'd like help with your business plan and your search everywhere optimization, we have our Apex Entrepreneur Program, which is a year-long program designed to take you from 6 to 7. Potentially some of our clients do 8 figures a year through this program, where we work on social media optimization. We get together a marketing plan. We put together a hiring and training and culture and core value plan for your company, so that not only can you sell and scale, you can nail and scale and eventually sell to private equity like a lot of plumbers are doing right now. That program for the entire year is only $10,000. Judging by your marketplace and what you do for a living, being a plumber, that's 3, maybe 5 different clients that you'll need. We can put 3 to 5 clients into your pipeline per day, per week, per month, let alone per year. This will be the easiest ROI you've ever got. It's $10,000. What credit card would you like to put that on? Okay, I'm asking them a question, made them the offer, asked them the question, what credit card would you like to put this on? At this point, we are at a fork in the road. Okay, This fork in the road is they were happy and they said, yeah, I'll send the $2,000. Or the other fork in the road, well, let me change that from objections because that's not the true sense here. We'll call it doubt. They have some sort of doubt. They doubt that they can do the work. They doubt they can get the results. They doubt your ability to provide what you said that you were going to provide. There's some sort of doubt. So we're at that Y in the road of doubt or yes. If yes, fucking the credit card, right? Like no need for phase 4. It's it. Phase 4 is close. If they say yes, then there's no need for objections. It's just close. Skip 1 and 2. This is the only part of the process where if they say yes, give you a credit card number, don't start fucking giving them objections to handle and shit. That's a terrible idea, right? Skip these 2 parts, okay? Close them. But if they give you the objections, then obviously, number 1, you have to handle their objections. By the way, if you would like to practice and get better and sharpen your objection handling skills, go to closeriqtest.com, sign up absolutely free. What's going to happen is you'll get a series of 10 sales objections, industry specific. You'll type in what industry you work in. You'll get one at a time, 10 different sales objections, and you get an opportunity to reply to that objection and overcome it. And then we're going to give you a score from 1 to 10 on each one of those questions. A perfect score is 100. An average score is 50. Right now, we've had 1,100 people take the Closer IQ test. As the time that I'm recording this, the average score is 51. So, and the average time to take the test is 23 minutes, just to put it in perspective there. So, by the way, if you want to get better at objections, go to closeriqtest.com. It's 100% free. You're going to absolutely love it. Practice on a daily basis. Take that test every single day. Share it with your friends. If you're a sales manager, get your team on it. If you're a business owner, get your fucking salespeople on that shit. Once we've handled their objections, then we come to an agreement. So I've overcome their objections, and now that we've agreed on the $10,000, I'm just going to close them. Okay, what credit card do you want to put it on? Let's get you rolling, and I'm going to put them through the process. You see, here's what most do in a sales process. Fucking, you know, most guys, they just want to pump 2 or 3 times to get their nuts and they're not worried about the significant others, right? But when you're a sales guy and you actually care about that prospect and you don't just skip the foreplay, you don't just skip date night, you don't just skip the things that you're supposed to, right? Because if I go from rapport to close, well, fuck, I don't know what their problem is and I didn't even pitch them right. If I skip rapport and go straight to asking them questions in discovery, they don't know me, we don't have any similarity, it's gonna make it awkward. But when you can go through each one of these in sequence and follow those KPIs that I told you to write down, you wrote them down, didn't you? If not, get your ass back, rewind the video and write the shit down so you can take this template and apply it. Here's the beautiful thing about this. Take this template, apply it into your own business, then make copies of it and give it to your employees so now they understand. Give it to your sales team. Now they understand the 4 phases they have to go through, the company KPIs, the company scripts. I have just given you a beautiful template for a handbook for every sales professional that comes into your organization, no matter what industry you're in or no matter what you sell. So that being said, if you got some value from this, share it with your sales team, share it if you're a business owner, share it with other business owners. You know, we're salespeople, we have a good product and we provide an awesome service and our clients love us and everybody that we've done business with is a fan. Don't we owe it to the marketplace to do as much of that as we possibly can? And in order to do that, wouldn't we need to fortify our frontline soldiers, aka the sales team, with the proper steps, scripts, and KPIs to prepare them for the most successful attack on the front lines that they can have? Well, that's what I just given you, and it's up to you now to go utilize and deploy this stuff. So with that being said, hit the like button, subscribe. I make videos that are cool as shit like this all the time on here, and tell your friends. We'll see you on the next video. Rise above.